this is where I work, my desk and computer, which is pretty much all I need for work. And then these tables used to be for working on remote control vehicles or little projects, and I can still do that. But what I've done is integrated this room to be exclusively kind of an extension of the Retic's cage. He's 2.5, well, he's 2 years and 2 months old. He's about 8.5 feet, 14 pounds now. So here's his cage here, where he sleeps, hangs out, and eats. And then typically during the day, I've got him in his tub now, he'll be out here for anywhere from 4 hours to 8 or 9 hours. Kind of what I call the extended enclosure. So I'm going to make it more jungly. I'm going to kind of mix and match. Try to make it look cool, right? As best I can. We've rubberized the floor with this shower mat padding. And that's been in there a couple months. I got to tidy that up a little bit. But it's waterproof. So if he goes to the bathroom, it's super easy cleanup. So in that regard, I turned it into kind of an enclosure. This has been working out real well in the wintertime. Summertime, Arizona, heat is not a problem. This has been working out great. I keep this lever-operated heater, which is tied to this thermostat, goes to the other thermostat. There's a humidity set. Now that humidity's low because I got the doors open. That humidity typically sits at about 70 or 80% by hydrating the cage. What's good is I'm not pumping in hot, dry air like I used to right through the port, which would dry the cage out because Arizona is very dry typically in the wintertime. So I run this heater. I've got it surrounded by this cage. So when he's out crawling around, it doesn't accidentally burn him because that's really hot when it's running, which now in the winter it's runs pretty regularly. And then I'm going to redo some of this, but basically I've anchored down all these shelves to accommodate his body weight. He loves to sit up here and hang out. Like, he'll crawl all over, but he'll sit up here and hang out. He'll sit there. He'll sit there. He picks different ones, and I've put towels on each one just to make him more comfortable. That's about it. I'm going to do a few other things, a little more decoration. There's another shelf over here. I'll typically open the window for him when it's not freezing outside. And he's got like a giant window to the outside, which he hangs out by much of the time. So that's pretty much that. If you add this all up, this is 7,500 gallons in here, if you were to add it up. And all the floor space plus the counter space adds up to about 160, 70 square feet. So he loves being in here while I'm working. We just kind of coexist. And he seems to like his cage too. So here's the way I have it now. Got the temperature and humidity probes in there. He's got his vents. Got LED lighting, which I pop on in the morning. At night, I turn it off. You know, some plastic plants. A couple things like that. He's got his deck. He pretty much exclusively hangs out on his balcony here all the time. In fact, you know, when he's out, he always lays out in the open. He never liked the caves. I thought he would like the caves, but he doesn't. Sometimes he'll hang out on the lower deck here for a little bit, but he always ends up back up here. That's that. He's got his drinking bowl and a soaking bowl, which he still uses. As he gets bigger, I'll need to get a bigger one of these. Right now, he's still kind of good in that one. And that is it. I'm going to go get him and put him back in. So you'll see him how he is. Well, actually, I'm not going to put him in. I'm just going to let him free crawl. So let him free crawl for a little while. Typically one of his favorite deals. What's up, buddy? I can tell that's where he's kind of making his way up to. He's just winding himself up to get up there and chill. Oh, hatchy boy. He's cool either way. But it's nice when he's in here. Then he can just chill out, kind of in a controlled thing. The big thing is humidity, I guess, because it is dry out of there. Temperature is the same because I heat the whole room to about 78.5 degrees. So it stays about 77.5 to 78.5 in his cage. And he seems totally cool with that. One of his favorites. That shelf and that shelf over there in the back. But he left that shelf on his own, cruised over there, then cruised back over here, and went back in his cage. Then 30 minutes later, he wandered back out again. Go figure. No doubt he'll probably just coil up here, chill out. These guys are long more than they are girthy. Even though he's got some girth, he's long. So he is he's hooking up with this middle section for a bit, but I think that's just temporary. What you doing there, boy? Oh, hatch. Now there's his heater. Pretty cool idea. He's down on the floor now. Typically he does more up high stuff, but he goes down low, up high. If I stack these up higher, there is no doubt he would go up even higher. It'd just be harder to get him then. Maybe I'll stack some of them up higher, you know, like maybe that one, or I don't know. Play around. Just keep playing around with it. You can get these Walmart shelves and interlock them. It's pretty cool. So I have to make sure I get the right ones. There's two different styles. We got that shower mat stuff on the floor. Pretty cool, huh? And it's 6x2, it's 180 gallon. This whole room, when you calculate it, is 7,500 gallons. So I don't care how big he gets. This room will be sufficient. You just modify the active space accordingly, you know. And there's that truck to figure out what to do with that. Probably put it up there by the Rio link, to be honest with you. Or right here where it was. It looked pretty cool there.